him.
I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Schmack-a-ma-gub, it's time for the only news that matters on Kiss Wednesday. And Kiss, oh my God, Kiss has revealed more details about their unmasked concert in Las Vegas this coming autumn. 15 months after their final concert at New York's Madison Square Garden last weekend, Kiss sent a mailer to their fan base announcing their live comeback at the Kiss Army Storms Las Vegas Weekender. All right, celebrating the fan club's 50th anniversary. This event takes place at Virgin Hotel Las Vegas, Friday the 14th to Sunday the 16th in November of 2025. In a post on the band's official website on Thursday, Kiss wrote, 50 years ago in Terre Haute, Indiana, a small group of fans lit the spark that would become the loudest and proudest fan movement in rock history, the Kiss Army. Now, 5 decades later and 30 years since the first official Kiss convention, we're cranking it up to 11 in Las Vegas for the ultimate celebration. Kiss go on to confirm that frontman Paul Stanley of Kiss and bassist Gene Simmons will play an unmasked show alongside yet-to-be-revealed special guests. Curiously, no mention is given of Kiss's most recent drummer, Eric Singer, but Tommy Thayer was announced. They announced that Tommy Thayer is going to be part of the unmasked electric show. And I'm thinking they put it up like, Tommy Thayer is going to be part of it. And it's like, that's your selling point? I mean, seriously, these prices, who would pay this much for Tommy Thayer? Anyway, let's keep reading. I'll get back to the Tommy Thayer thing. They write, Kiss Unmasked Electric Show featuring Paul Stanley of Kiss, Gene Simmons, and special guests. The set will be in honor of the 50th anniversary of the hottest fan club in the world, the Kiss Army. Other highlights of the weekend include questions and answering sessions with Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley of Kiss, as well as Kiss's manager, Doc McGee. And there will also be a live performance from former Kiss guitarist Bruce Kulick. All right, here we go. Here's the ticket prices. Tickets include a 3-night stay at Virgin Hotel Las Vegas, and the cheapest package costs $999 per person. A variety of packages are available, with the most expensive, the Ultimate Experience, costing $4,909. This includes access to watch the Kiss soundcheck alongside with other perks. Wow. All right, and back to Tommy Thayer with this less than exciting press release they brought out saying lead guitarist Tommy Thayer will join the band's founding members Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley of Kiss for a performance without makeup at the Virgin Hotels Las Vegas. Also newly added to the lineup of artists will appear at the event are Thayer's former band Black and Blue, as well as former Skid Row frontman Sebastian Bach and the tribute acts Mr. Speed and Kiss Nation, a Kiss tribute show. Also making special appearances will be Kiss Army founder Bill Starkey and Jay Evans. In addition, there will be guest performances. I already talked about that. Anyway, Gene said, "We will not do the makeup." Gene told this to Las Vegas Review Journal about Kiss Army Storms Vegas He says, we will hold true to the promise of never playing another Kiss show in makeup. Yeah, like you held true to the promise of a farewell tour. You know, it's funny how people are like, oh, but Kiss, End of the Road, they didn't say they were going to stop playing shows. They never said that. So, you know, this is legit. Yeah, well, why don't you bring up when they did say they'd stop playing shows on the farewell tour 25 years ago? You won't mention that, will you? You know? Remember when Gene said, hey, we never played this card before. This is the real deal. And then Paul Stanley said, my favorite is when Paul Stanley said, you know, it's all, you know, it's us four. Anybody else wearing the makeup is disingenuous. He said it himself in those press junkets for the farewell tour. Nobody brings up that. They bring up that bullshit End of the Road tour, which there was already an End of the Road tour back 25 years ago. And now people are making excuses. Oh, well, they never said they were going to stop playing shows here and there. Yes, they did back in 2000. But yeah, you don't want to bring that shit up, you know? And yeah, what a selling point. You know, Tommy Thayer, really? You know what's a selling point? Ace Frehley. Peter Criss. Hey, even Vinnie Vincent would be a bigger selling point than Tommy Thayer. Everybody expects Tommy Thayer to be there. You know? If not playing, at least catering. Yeah, I goof on Tommy Thayer, whatever. I'm sure he's a nice guy and all. And yeah, something I found out recently, somebody talked about it, and I went and I did the search myself on this on Google. It took me to a website called Celebrity Net Worth. And listen to this. This is crazy. How much money does Tommy Thayer have? He has $12 million. How much money does Ace Frehley have? $1 million. And you know, Ace Frehley's a guy that had multi-million dollars more than once. And now that's why Ace Frehley doesn't stop touring, man. He owes a lot to the IRS. He can't leave the country because of his IRS problems, you know. That's a lot of money he could have made overseas, like Australia and stuff. But England, you know, I'm sure Ace can do pretty good over there. But boy, the guy that took your place, the guy that wears your makeup, the guy that mimics the Ace Frehley Kiss Alive solo during his guitar solo and shoots rockets. Didn't he shoot rockets out of his guitar? I'm pretty sure he did. Like Ace. This guy, he's an imposter, and he made $11 million. He has $11 million more than Ace Frehley. And Gene Simmons, by the way, has $400 million. Yeah. You know why he has $400 million? It's because people throw thousands and thousands of dollars at him. There were people that were, you know, throwing like, hey, Gene, I'll pay you $12,000. Please let me carry your amps. And shit like that. I mean, that's how he made all those millions, man. You know? Gene, you know, goof on him all you want, but the guy's got money, you know? And he makes no excuses about it. He even said it way back in the 70s. He said, I'm only in it for money and chicks. You know, he never lied about it. There's a lot of rock stars out there that pretend they're all about integrity and shit. Bullshit. You know? They try to be all about integrity and shit, but when they see they need the money, the integrity flies out the window. Case in point, Motley Crue. You know? When they had John Corabi, they were losing a lot of shit. They brought back Vince. They didn't want to do that, you know, but they did. you know, and Motley Crue. There's Guns N' Roses. There you go. Axl Rose, Integrity, fuck Slash, fuck the original lineup. Man, everybody wants to see Slash in Guns N' Roses. I don't know how much Duff, but you get that guy with the top hat up there, you can sell out stadiums. You know, and Axl was starting to hurt without that. You know, after a while, after Chinese Democracy, you know, it was starting to dry up, man. And but they never ever admitted it. Gene does. I got to give it to Gene. He doesn't care. You know, I see him in interviews saying, "Oh, I see people say, oh, that's too much money. Too much money? Shit, give me what you think is too much money. Get too much money, and then give me a lot of your money since you think it's too much." The guy's greedy. Greed Simmons. That should be his name. Greed Simmons. Anyway, there you go. Let me know in the comments below. Hey, are you gonna pay to go there? Get the cheap tickets for $999. Whoever's doing that, leave a comment below if you think that's cool. And hey, to me, man, who gives a rat's ass what anybody thinks? If you want to spend that much money, that's your money, that's your business, and that obviously must give you joy to pay that much money. So more power to you, man. Leave your comments below. I know most comments will be, no, hell no, I ain't going. Yeah, you're like me. But whatever, man. Supply and demand. That's why Gene charges so much, because he knows people will buy it, you know. But leave your comments below on this whole thing. I sure would appreciate it. And I want to thank you so much for watching The Only News That Matters. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Ring that little notification bell. And like the video. It's good for the YouTube algorithms. So stay frosty. Listen to Black Sabbath and smack 'em a gob.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, you ladies of Spain. For we've received orders for to sail back to Boston, and so never more shall we see you again.